Hey friends, welcome back to your Friday edition of Hot News. I missed yesterday's because I was too busy trying to, this sounds stupid in retrospect, trying to get one of them RTX 3080 cards, those newfangled things that you just can't possibly get. And we're going to talk about that entire scenario, how it went down, what Nvidia did wrong, how we could potentially remedy in the future, and all of that after we talk about today's video sponsor for Hot News, which is Synergy. My friends, if you have more than one computer set up in your office, at your desk, whatever. I currently have two PCs set up right here and a third one over there, and I'm able to control more than just the main computer with Synergy software because it allows you to connect multiple devices with one simple keyboard and mouse at one location instead of having to have multiple setups or a KVM switch or anything complicated. Synergy is the software to help you out, simplify your life when it comes to multiple PC management, whether it's a work PC and a personal PC at your home office while you're working from home right now, or for me, it's just benchmarking two different PCs. Synergy is definitely helpful for that. It works on Linux, Mac, Windows. You can just make sure that it works across all of the devices that you have. So check it out at the link in the video description. You can get Synergy for $29 or Synergy Pro license with the SSL encryption for only $39. Check them out at the link in the video description. Big thanks to Synergy, not only for sponsoring today's episode of Hot News, but making my life so much easier by just allowing me to use multiple computers and not having to be like, where's the keyboard? Which one is it? So while Synergy's awesome, yesterday was not, okay? So we started off the day with a stream over on Twitch where I tried to buy the cards live, and like everyone, I refreshed the page on Nvidia's website. It went from notify me to out of stock. It did so on Best Buy, it did so on Newegg, which also went down, B&H went down. It was unprecedented levels of demand across just the entire internet for these cards, whether it's viewing the cards or purchasing the cards. It's hard to actually say what the huge demand was there, but it was enough to bring tons of websites for their knees, and Nvidia came out and apologized for that, saying that the demand was indeed unprecedented. We'll get to their apology in a second, but it's not just the fact that Nvidia is saying this was unprecedented. I've heard the argument that people have been saying, well, you should have known that people would have want to buy an awesome graphics card like this, which is true. This is a great launch. A lot of people do want to pick it up, but according to Newegg, they had more traffic than the morning of Black Friday, which is unprecedented. I don't think there's a lot of people that could have expected that this GPU launch would have been that large. It turns out that when you skip an entire ration of giving people value with the RTX 20 series, turns out that they might be starved for actual value with regards to their PCs. So that's good. Newegg saying that they experienced more traffic than usual, limited inventory sold out in 5 minutes. The release as they got more, bot protection was in place, orders were human. They totally got it completely correct. Nvidia, on the other hand, did not. There was a ton of indication that Nvidia did not have ways of protecting against bots, and that's how all of the cards sold out within seconds. So we're going to detail that shortly too. But you can go over to the GeForce forums and find there are tons of people who are just mad about this. The world's leading AI company can't stop footwear bots? You look like fools. How does doing everything humanly possible to stop scalpers not include CAPTCHA or wait lists? Nvidia should cancel all 3080 orders it received. Should Nvidia do a relaunch once they have recalled bot orders? Complete BS. Anyone else going to AMD now? It's just a giant crap show. So that's happening. In case you didn't know, this is the entire stock that Nvidia had yesterday right here. It was in Jensen's kitchen. So that's exactly what happened. And just to steal more memes from Reddit, Nvidia forgot something, but if they did, it wasn't important. Recaptcha just not being there to assist against bots. But thankfully, the people who use bots to go ahead and purchase them and then resell them quickly on eBay, which when it comes to using a bot to do that, it's a little frustrating. If it's somebody who waited in line at Micro Center to flip it, honestly, I don't know if they should be trolled personally, but they are getting trolled over on eBay because people are creating burner accounts, doing fake bids, and then kind of just driving the price up. So it does look like as of right now, it's being done in multiple different forms. You can see this top one for the RTX 3080 Founders Edition went for $70,000, $65,000 for this Gigabyte one. $50,000 $1,000 for this drawing. And this is simply happening because users can easily usurp eBay's bidding process by creating burner accounts. And that's exactly what's happening. You see multiple versions going for $10,000. It's hard to know if one of these might be real, if somebody might have paid $10,000 for it. I personally would probably pay, if I was desperate for a brand new card right now, like I sold my 2080 Ti and I have nothing and I needed one like right now, I'd probably see myself paying about $2,000 for the 3080 personally, but I'm not. I'm just going to wait until they come back in stock. But it does appear like this has been a complete crap show. So Nvidia is saying this morning we saw unprecedented demand for the GeForce RTX 3080 at global retailers, including the Nvidia online store. Despite preparation, the Nvidia store was inundated with traffic and encountered an error. We were able to resolve the issues and sales began registering normally. To stop bots and scalpers on the Nvidia store, we're doing everything humanly possible, including manually reviewing orders. So you're not going to get yours until November because they have to review all of them unless they had only 10 in stock, in which case that's going to get done quickly to get these cards in the hands of legitimate customers. Over 50 major global retailers had inventory and then they're all sold out. We apologize to customers for this morning's experience. It does seem like they dropped the ball here hugely. And in case you're wondering how the bots got through, well, thankfully PC Mag did some sleuthing and had an interview with the company that provides the bots that's typically used for sniping sneaker sales of all things. So a bot bought dozens of RTX 3080 units before we could even touch them. So the bot is called Bounce Alerts, and if we go ahead and take a look at it, you can see its exclusive group creating the next generation of hustlers revolving around sneakers, investment, low-key flips, and more. It costs $75 a month to do this, and you're able to actually go ahead and have it run a script to pick it up. And when asked about how did they get around the fact that Nvidia had bot protection, they were just like, yeah, it was easy to just usurp. And then our job at Bounce Alerts was to ensure our customers were able to purchase the products for their needs. So they used an automated script to run basically from the product page to checkout. And then if there was bot protection for limit one per household, it was able to subvert that. They have ways and means of making that happen. And so it just makes it so that you and I never stood a chance. Me refreshing once just led to me not getting anything. And in fact, if you go over to the in-stock websites, they show that they never went in stock in the first place. That's how quickly all of these got sniped. But they showed that there was people who got from one card all the way up to 30 different cards. You can see the confirmations in people's emails. Thank you, Bounce Alerts, for the Nvidia bot. Easy money. And that is exactly why people are trolling the eBay listings that you see here, because it was just people trying to make an easy cash grab. There are some that are legitimate. Somebody stood in line and then they were able to flip it. That's totally fine. Subverting a system and making this happen. Number one, I don't blame you. Personally, anybody who actually did this, 42 orders of this, I blame Nvidia for letting this happen. They are one of the world's largest companies, as it was mentioned in the GeForce forums. They are the people who lead in AI, and yet they couldn't prevent something like this happening, which could be because they don't care. Honestly, they are a massive company and the only thing that matters to them is making these sales, and whether or not it happens to legitimate customers who might buy them on the open market, who knows? Or it could be the fact that they are just simply that incompetent. Don't ascribe to malice what can simply be ascribed to incompetence. That is a rule to live by. That may be exactly what's happening here. Potentially, Nvidia might cancel some of these orders, which could either reallocate stock, but it could also potentially hurt people who bought the eBay guaranteed pre-orders, and Nvidia cancels it because it was a bot script running it. So that's exactly kind of where we're at. I don't have a card. Nvidia didn't send me one. An AIB partner hasn't sent me one, and I was unable to purchase them altogether. So your boy sitting here as a tech tuber with nothing. I have a Ryzen 7 4750G. I guess that makes me slightly happier. That's something I have that most people don't. It's fine. Everything's fine. Were you able to snag an RTX 3080 yesterday? It seems like a lot of the retailers in the EU didn't have this issue. I saw so many people posting in our Discord and in our live stream. Come follow us, twitch.tv/UFDisciple, that they were able to pick them up from online e-tailers in the EU. And then in the US, I saw a lot of people saying that they were able to pick them up at Micro Center, but that's it. I haven't actually seen a verified purchase, besides ones that are on eBay, display of people who actually got them at Nvidia or Best Buy or Newegg. It actually seems like it's just gone. So let me know, were you able to snag one? Let me know down below. And are you going to be waiting? Does this piss you off that this happened under Nvidia's watch? Is this making you flip to AMD, or you're just like, I mean, what is AMD going to give us? I want this card. Come on. But okay, we could say don't ascribe to malice, but you can ascribe to incompetence or ignorance. But on the other side, there is something called a diversion, which you just make a big hullabaloo about something, not having enough stock of an RTX 3080, in order to just let some other news fly under the radar. This is a very common political move. And yesterday, Nvidia announced something that I think will disappoint a lot of people. SLI is officially dead. They are done. It's gone. SLI drivers, not really happening anymore. January 1st, 2021, no new SLI drivers completely. And I hear you ask, what about the 3090? Didn't they give that SLI? Well, turns out that doesn't matter, because that is only going to be for integrations. And the SLI scaling that you might get with NVLink will probably apply to non-game scenarios, but for gaming specifically, multi-GPU is dead, gone. Can't have it anymore. It's over. Okay. Nvidia's not supporting it, which makes sense. You should have seen this coming. They've been trying to transition it off of more and more cards. The 3080 having no SLI connector was obviously a death toll right there. And then on top of that, with APIs such as DX12 and Vulkan supporting multi-GPU natively, it's okay, but it's going to depend on the game developers to do that. And as we've seen with game developers supporting it with physical hardware, it's just non-existent. Why would they do it on a software level? It's just more coding for very few people. It's probably just a dead exercise. So what do you think? Is this diversion about SLI being dead? Let me know down in the comments. But also, let's go ahead and talk about some RTX 3080 updates, since yesterday was the release of the cards. Release retail, and then also AIB partners could get announced. We got some more announcements coming out. iBuyPower confirming that their gaming systems are getting updated with the 30 series. Corsair also doing the same with their Vengeance lineup. EK releasing the water blocks for the reference design 30 series. You can see here, it's a nice copper right there. Then we also have the Gigabyte GeForce RTX 3080 Vision pictured, which is actually quite beautiful. This white and metal design I really enjoy. This purple right here I'm hoping is either an OLED screen or RGB, because that kind of kills the aesthetic for me, but otherwise I really like it, and it would fit great with the Lian Li Unifans in my Galahad cooler. I really like this card, Gigabyte. The only thing is that it doesn't have a white PCB, but because it has black and metal accents, I think I can forgive it in this. What do you think of the Vision? Let me know down below. But additionally, we got updates of overclocking records being achieved, 2,300 megahertz, with a Time Spy world record of over 10,000 points being hit yesterday. And then also there might be a teaser that got dropped for the RTX 3080 20 gigabyte memory edition, because in the white paper that Nvidia published on this, the only card that gets named with its gigabyte VRAM amount is the 3080. The RTX 3070 doesn't get named this way. 3090 doesn't get named this way. It's simply the RTX 3080 10 gigabyte edition, which makes it seem like there's going to be a 20 gigabyte edition, like the rumors have potentially been indicating. So you can hold fast for that in case you want that. I doubt that when the 20 gig launches that it's going to be all of that, like it's not going to be in crazy demand like this was. But then let's talk about AMD for a second, because we got some more pictures of the RX 6900 XT cooler, thanks to Jay's 2 cents showing off a leaked image that somebody sent him prior to AMD announcing their card. And then once AMD actually announced their card, he realized that this was actually the right picture, so felt free to share it. This is the triple fan 6900 XT, and then there is also a dual fan version that will likely go on a lower end card, with people mocking it and saying this looks exactly like the Team Rocket logo, which kind of does. So let me know what you think of the 6900 XT cooler. Red Gaming Tech also posting more pictures of that as well, on top of what the Jay's 2 cents leak was. But you can just see that AMD could have released these pictures because they exist, right? But instead they chose to give us an exclusive look at these things in Fortnite because it's creative. Or, you know, you could have given us the pictures and put it in Fortnite. I don't know. That would have just made more sense marketing wise. But because we skipped yesterday's episode of Hot News, we have a lot of stuff to talk about with regards to the PS5 because we got all of the details for that. It's arriving November 12th in certain regions, the US and Canada. It starts at $400 for the digital edition, $500 for the 4K Blu-ray player version of the console. And then it's coming out November 12th, as you can see here, and November 19th for the rest of the world, which is the Cyberpunk 2077 release date as well. But we also got confirmation from the CEO, Jim Ryan, that there will be more PS5 at launch than there were PS4s when that came out in 2013, because there's been rumors of stock issues with the PS5, and he essentially said, no, what are you talking about? Where are these rumors coming from? But additionally, also confirming that the PS5 won't have backwards compatibility with PS1, PS2, and PS3 titles, but saying that PS4 titles should have around 99% compatibility. That is going to exist, so you don't necessarily need to worry about that. We also got an announcement of Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, which is going to have 120 FPS. It's going to have ray tracing. It's going to have a whole bunch of stuff to optimize it for the next gen, which is kind of neat. Demon's Souls got announced as a launch title, the remake for that coming out, as well as them dropping pictures and a whole video of it. But then they said that they were going to let us know when pre-orders go live. And the big issue that I had with Sony's announcement is that they didn't say most of the important stuff. Like, they gave us a bunch of good stuff like price and release date, but then nothing about pre-orders. We had to find out from Jeff Keighley that the pre-orders were going live. They went live Amazon, Walmart, Best Buy. They were out faster than I could even find them, but they actually seem legitimate this time. There are some scalpers who are popping these up on eBay, but that goes directly against eBay's terms of services because you can't provide the product within 30 days. So the pre-orders should come down off of eBay anytime soon. And then we also got confirmation of some pricing. It looks like Demon's Souls is going to cost $70, and the Ultimate Edition of Spider-Man Miles Morales is going to cost $70. But with Spider-Man Miles Morales, the $70 Ultimate Edition also includes a remaster of the PS4 game with ray tracing and all of the betterments enabled for that game. So with the $70 version, it's essentially like you're getting the game plus this expansion pack of Miles Morales, and Demon's Souls is actually just a $70 game, which is expensive. But then Sony not confirming in the keynote, but elsewhere, that Horizon Forbidden West is coming to the PS4. It's not just going to be a PS5 release title. Same with Sackboy: A Big Adventure and Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. It won't have all of the enhancements that go with the PS5, but those three games also coming out for the PS4. And Jim Ryan saying that no one should be disappointed at PS5 exclusives also launching on PS4 because it's just great. You get to play the games. You have a choice, which would be fine if Sony didn't push so much effort on the fact of saying that they believe in generations and you can't use the PS4 controller on PS5 games on the PS5, even though that's just a software limitation, because you can use the PS4 controller on PS4 games on the PS5, but you can't do it for PS5 games. But PS5 games are going to be supported on the PS4 with a PS4 controller. So what the hell is the difference? Doesn't make any sense. This is just like, I agree that it's totally fine that PS5 games are also coming on PS4. That makes sense. But when you push, we believe in generations, and then you have artificial software locks of bullcrap reasons for your generational improvements on your stupid controller, it just comes across as disingenuous, and that might be the reason why people are upset with you, Sony. Not the fact that you're doing it, but the fact that you kind of make it seem like you couldn't do it, and then you did it. On top of that, Sony also announced the PlayStation Plus collection, which some people are saying is Sony's Game Pass, which I don't really see it that way, because Game Pass is like new games that are constantly coming out and being added and refreshed, whereas the PlayStation Plus collection essentially makes it seem like it's PS4 games that you get on the PS5, which is cool. Like, you can play God of War and Persona 5 and The Last of Us, for the first one remastered, and all of the big PS4 titles with this, but like, that's not adding new games. Like, as soon as they confirm Horizon Forbidden West and Spider-Man Miles Morales and God of War 2, which also got announced because it's coming out 2021, or God of War 5, however you want to split it. The second edition of the reboot of God of War, essentially saying Ragnarok is coming. Just a quick little teaser. I'm hesitant that's going to hit this launch date. I'm probably going to guess that this is coming out in 2022. This seems overly ambitious that's coming out that soon, but if it does, I'll be pleasantly surprised. Also, Final Fantasy 16 got showed off. It's going to be a PlayStation console exclusive, but not to be without controversy for that one too. It showed that this was PC footage to emulate PS5 gameplay for this trailer, but then at the same time, it said that it was launching on PC as well. But then afterwards, Square Enix was like, we don't know what you're talking about with the PC release. And then the trailer that got uploaded to YouTube afterwards doesn't mention the PC at all and just says PS5. So who knows what the heck is happening? It may eventually come out on PC, but it's definitely confirmed to be a PS5 thing. Then Nintendo also had a Direct Mini yesterday to add to all of this gaming news that's going on. Just a few keynotes from that. Ori and the Will of the Wisps is coming out to Switch, and it's going to be running on 60 FPS. This is a follow-up to Ori and the Blind Forest. Then Monster Hunter Rise got confirmed, and that's going to debut on Switch in March. And then Hades also confirmed to come out to the Nintendo Switch, as well as Dissidia, probably not saying that correctly, 6, which is coming out exclusively to the Switch in the US, but is getting a PS4 release in Japan, which this is the first time that I'm personally hearing of a game that is having region-locked exclusivity console-wise. That's intriguing. I'm curious to know how that's going to play out. And then let's go ahead and talk about the Xbox Series S and Series X, because Microsoft came out and confirmed that pre-orders will start on Tuesday. We already knew that, but now we have a time. 11 a.m. Eastern is when it's happening. You can get it at retailers, or you can purchase it from Microsoft directly with the Xbox All Access pre-orders, where you can get it $25 a month for the Series S, $35 a month for the Series X. So that's all happening next week as well. And don't forget, the RTX 3090 is launching next week too. 24th. Oh my goodness. Then just a few things that also got put in the news yesterday. Lisa Su is confirmed to do the keynote at CES 2021. I personally have the conspiracy theory that although we're going to get a Zen 3 launch this year, because AMD's announcing that October 8th, Navi, big Navi, the 6900 XT is going to get announced on October 28th and technically release before the next major consoles, like November 3rd or something like that. They are physically not going to actually come out until January. And that's what's going to be the big thing. It's like, oh, hey, we have them. We're technically releasing them to reviewers, but you want to buy them? Okay, wait until CES 2021 and that'll happen. But let's talk about AMD. No, not at all, because they tried to do a little marketing promotion with Fortnite, and that was just a garbage idea. It didn't make any sense. This is how you do it right. Nvidia releasing RTX DLSS and reflex support on Fortnite yesterday with the launch of the RTX 30 series cards, bringing the consumer extra value with your technology, as opposed to making it so that you only have exclusive crap in a game, which didn't make any sense. I mean, I think I just need to go on a rant here. I know this episode of Hot News is already way too dang long, but AMD, especially their response to people being like, why did you put it in Fortnite? Their response was like, what other game gives us this much creative flexibility? Here's a free idea for AMD, okay? This is what you should have done. Number one, you should have released pictures, okay? So that it wasn't a Fortnite exclusive, so that people didn't have to go and download a game to just find out the IO on the gosh dang card, okay? That's pretty simple, number one. It just give people the option. Don't make them do something exclusive. Then number two, are you serious? You couldn't think of a better game? You couldn't PC building simulator, where people could actually physically slot the card in a case and then see how it would fit in their PC? That's a great implementation. Keep the Fortnite thing. Nobody's upset that you put it in Fortnite. People are upset that you exclusively put information in Fortnite. That's the nonsense, okay? Make the giant Fortnite card. Give that additionally. Also put it in PC Building Simulator so that people can actually have their hands on it before they actually have their hands on it. It just makes so much sense. Why would you not do that? I don't know. That's the better game for me. And let's just wrap up this episode of Hot News quickly. TSMC's 5nm node apparently is fully booked, with Apple being the largest customer for that. AMD probably also taking a key slice of that. Whether or not Nvidia is going to transition back to TSMC, it's going to be hard to say. We'll find out eventually. Then the OnePlus Nord apparently is coming out to the US with a different chip. The Snapdragon 690 is going to be the 5G chip, as opposed to the 765G, 6GB of RAM, 128 storage, 6.5-inch HD screen, which is slightly bigger than the one that came out elsewhere with a 90Hz refresh rate. Hopefully it'll come out for the sub $400 price. Then Logitech released firmware that can unlock some of their mice to have 25,600 DPI. Why would you need that? I don't know. Can you guys give me any indication why people would need 25,000 DPI down below in the comments? I'm keen to hear what that is. Then EVGA continuing, and at least in my opinion, to lose what they're trying to be as a company, not only with the RTX 30 series being ridiculously colored with that red accent, but now they've launched the world's first OBS certified capture card, which is like fine. I have nothing against launching a capture card. It just seems like, why is EVGA doing this of all companies? I don't What? Why? Why is EVGA doing this? Anyways, it's going to have 4K HDR pass-through, 1080p 60 FPS recording. You can see that it has RGB, which makes it gamer. It looks pretty cool. The fact that it's OBS certified is essentially meaningless to me. This would not cause me to pick it up over anything from Elgato or EVGA. Like, I think the looks is pretty beautiful. I like the RGB, but why is EVGA? I don't know. And then lastly, don't forget that today is the launch of Crysis Remastered on the PC. You can get it. You can see that it can't be run at 4K max settings at 30 FPS with any GPU on the market. A couple YouTubers had hands-on with the remaster yesterday. Linus obviously releasing his video. It does have 8K textures. It can support 8K resolution. Eventually, it should have DLSS, according to what I've heard. And you can't run it. Can it run Crysis? No, it cannot. Anyways, that's going to be it for this supercharged episode of Hot News. This is what I get for skipping a day. Just so much news to catch up on. Big thanks to you guys for actually watching and tuning in. I appreciate everybody who watched live yesterday on our adventures to try to find a 3080. I'm just as disappointed as you guys are. So I'm keen to hear all of your rage and frustration down below in the comments. Just vent, because I feel it too. Or if you want to come chat about it over on our Discord, you could do so. We'll leave a link in the video description for that. Anyways, you guys have a good weekend. Don't forget about today's video sponsor, Synergy. Control multiple computers with one set of keyboard and mice using their software, Linux, Macs, Windows. I always want to pluralize those. Anyways, check them out at the link in the video description and check yourself out of here. Bye.